Are you tired of feeling like your life is on autopilot, as if you're merely going through the motions day in and day out? Do you ever pause and wonder if there's more to existence than what meets the eye? If these questions resonate with you, then you might be sensing the subtle whispers of a deeper truth, an intuitive knowing that there's something beyond the surface level of reality. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it's easy to get caught up in the routines and responsibilities that seem to dictate our every move. From the moment we wake up to the time we lay our heads down to rest, we're bombarded with obligations, expectations, and distractions that keep us tethered to the mundane aspects of existence. But amidst the chaos of modern living, there's a part of us that yearns for something more, a longing for meaning, purpose, and fulfillment that transcends the confines of our current reality. This yearning, this subtle tug at the depths of our being, is often the first indicator that we're touching upon a deeper truth. It's a signal from our soul, a gentle reminder that there's a higher path awaiting our discovery, if only we have the courage to embark upon it. This inner calling beckons us to break free from the limitations of the 3D matrix, a term coined to describe the collective illusion that confines us to a narrow perception of reality. The 3D matrix operates on the premise of separation, duality, and limitation, keeping us locked in a cycle of fear, lack, and conformity. It's a construct built upon the belief that we are nothing more than physical beings, separate from one another and disconnected from the infinite intelligence that permeates the universe. But as we awaken to the truth of our interconnectedness and reclaim our innate power as conscious creators, we begin to see through the illusion of the 3D matrix and recognize the boundless potential that lies beyond its confines. So, if you find yourself feeling trapped in a reality that no longer resonates with your soul, if you sense a deeper calling urging you to break free from the shackles of the mundane, know that you're not alone. Many souls are awakening to the truth of their divine nature, reclaiming their sovereignty and stepping into a higher state of consciousness. As we go about our daily routines, consumed by work, responsibilities, and distractions, we may not even realize the subtle yet powerful forces at play, silently dictating our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. But what if I told you that beneath the surface of this seemingly ordinary existence lies a hidden world, a world of infinite potential and boundless possibilities? What if I told you that the reality you perceive is but a fraction of the truth, obscured by layers of conditioning and societal programming? Most of us are so preoccupied with the demands of daily life that we fail to recognize the invisible chains that bind us to the 3D matrix. We go about our days on autopilot, unaware of the deeper currents of consciousness that shape our reality. Yet, beneath the surface, there are subtle signs, clues that reveal the true nature of our existence and hint at the possibility of liberation from the confines of the 3D matrix. So, what are these signs? How can we discern whether we're trapped in the illusion of the 3D matrix or moving towards a higher state of consciousness? You are feeling disconnected from your true self. Feeling disconnected from your true self is like wandering through life wearing a mask, a facade that hides the essence of who you truly are. It's a pervasive sense of emptiness, a feeling that something vital is missing from your existence. You may go through the motions of daily life, fulfilling obligations and responsibilities, but deep down, there's a longing, an inner yearning to break free from the shackles of conformity and express your authentic nature. In the 3D matrix, societal conditioning and external pressures conspire to keep us trapped in a cycle of conformity, stifling our true expression and dampening our spirits. We're told from a young age to follow a predetermined path, to go to school, get a job, climb the corporate ladder, and accumulate material wealth. Yet, in the pursuit of these external markers of success, we often lose sight of our innermost desires and passions. You might find yourself toiling away at a job you despise, trading precious hours of your life for a paycheck that barely sustains you. In a world where money reigns supreme, it's easy to fall into the trap of pursuing financial gain at the expense of your own happiness and fulfillment. But here's the truth about money. It's not inherently evil, but the system in which it operates, the fiat currency system, is deeply flawed and inherently manipulative. Inflation erodes the value of our hard-earned dollars, while the financial elite manipulate markets and exploit the masses for their own gain. Yet, despite these systemic injustices, we're still bound by the necessity of earning a living to survive in this world. However, that doesn't mean we have to resign ourselves to a life of drudgery and misery. Instead of sacrificing your well-being for the sake of financial gain, why not seek out work that brings you joy and fulfillment? Life is too short to spend the best years of your life trapped in a job you hate, simply to make ends meet. By aligning your work with your passions and values, you not only reclaim your sense of purpose and fulfillment, but also contribute to the collective awakening of consciousness. Imagine waking up each day excited to pursue work that aligns with your passions and values, work that allows you to express your unique gifts and talents, while making a positive impact on the world. It's not just a pipe dream, it's a possibility within your grasp. Whether it's starting your own business, pursuing a creative endeavor, or finding a career that resonates with your soul, there are infinite opportunities awaiting those brave enough to step outside the confines of the 3D matrix. You are living in fear and limitation. Living in fear and limitation is like living in a cage with invisible bars, an imprisonment of the soul that stifles our ability to thrive and grow. Within the confines of the 3D matrix, fear reigns supreme, casting a shadow over our every thought and action. It's a pervasive force that seeps into the deepest recesses of our being, feeding off our insecurities and anxieties like a parasite. From the moment we wake up to the time we lay our heads down to rest, fear whispers its insidious lies, planting seeds of doubt and uncertainty in our minds. We fear failure, the possibility of falling short of expectations and facing judgment from others. We fear rejection, the pain of being deemed unworthy or unlovable. And perhaps most of all, we fear the unknown, the uncertainty of what lies beyond the familiar confines of our comfort zone. But here's the truth about fear. It's not our enemy, but rather a misguided protector, an outdated survival mechanism designed to keep us safe in a world filled with perceived threats. Yet, in the modern world, most of the fears we face are not life-threatening dangers, but rather psychological constructs born from societal conditioning and past traumas. In the 3D matrix, fear serves as a powerful tool of control, keeping us confined to a narrow spectrum of possibility and preventing us from realizing our full potential. It's like a prison guard standing watch over our dreams and aspirations, reminding us of all the reasons why we should stay small and play it safe. But what if we dare to confront our fears head-on? What if we embraced the unknown with open arms, seeing it not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth and expansion? By stepping outside the confines of our comfort zone and facing our fears with courage and resilience, we can begin to dismantle the walls of limitation that hold us back. It's not about eliminating fear altogether, but rather learning to dance with it, to acknowledge its presence without allowing it to dictate our actions. As we cultivate a mindset of empowerment and self-belief, we can transcend the limitations of the 3D matrix and step into a higher state of consciousness, one where fear no longer holds sway over our destiny. You are living on autopilot. Living on autopilot is akin to sleepwalking through life, a state of existence where you go through the motions without truly being present or engaged. It's like being a passenger in your own life, watching from the sidelines as the days blur together in a haze of monotony and routine. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, is this all there is? Have you ever felt a gnawing sense of dissatisfaction, a longing for something more meaningful and fulfilling? If so, you're not alone. Many people find themselves trapped in the cycle of autopilot living, where each day feels like a carbon copy of the last, devoid of purpose or passion. This sense of ennui is symptomatic of being ensnared by the 3D matrix, a construct that thrives on keeping us disengaged and disconnected from our true selves. In this state of unconscious living, we become mere puppets, dancing to the tune of external influences and societal expectations. Our inner guidance and intuition, the compass that points us toward our true north, become drowned out by the noise of the outside world. We relinquish control of our lives, allowing ourselves to be swept along by the currents of conformity and complacency. But here's the thing. You don't have to remain trapped in this cycle of unconscious living. You have the power to awaken from the slumber of autopilot and reclaim ownership of your life. It starts with a willingness to break free from the chains of the 3D matrix and embrace the present moment with open arms. By cultivating mindfulness and presence, you can begin to unravel the threads of conditioning that keep you tethered to autopilot living. Take a moment to pause, to breathe, to tune in to the whispers of your soul. What desires lie dormant within you, waiting to be acknowledged and pursued? Breaking free from autopilot living is a journey of self-discovery and empowerment, one that requires courage, intention, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. It's about reclaiming your sovereignty and charting a course that aligns with your deepest values and aspirations. You are seeking external validation. Seeking external validation is like chasing a mirage, a never-ending quest for approval and recognition that ultimately leaves us feeling empty and unfulfilled. In the 3D matrix, the need for external validation becomes a subtle yet insidious trap, one that keeps us tethered to the whims and opinions of others, rather than rooted in our own sense of self-worth and authenticity. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation from external sources. In a world where social media likes and followers equate to social currency, we're bombarded with images of seemingly perfect lives and curated personas, leaving us to compare ourselves and our accomplishments to unrealistic standards. But here's the truth. True validation can only come from within. Your worthiness is not determined by the number of likes on your latest Instagram post or the accolades you receive at work. It's an inherent quality that exists independent of external validation, a recognition of your innate value as a unique and worthy individual. When we constantly seek validation from others, we relinquish our power and agency, allowing external forces to dictate our sense of self-worth. We become like puppets, dancing to the tune of others' expectations and judgments, rather than standing firmly in our own truth. But true liberation comes from recognizing that your worthiness is not contingent upon the opinions of others. It comes from cultivating a deep sense of self-love and acceptance, a knowing that you are worthy simply by virtue of being alive. You are trapped in the rat race. Feeling trapped in the rat race is like being caught in a hamster wheel, a relentless cycle of striving and struggling with no end in sight. From the moment we wake up to the time we collapse into bed, we're bombarded with demands and expectations that keep us locked in a state of perpetual motion. Do you ever find yourself caught in this whirlwind of business, feeling like no matter how fast you run, you never seem to get ahead? It's a common experience in today's fast-paced world, a world that values productivity and efficiency above all else. But here's the thing. The rat race is a construct of the 3D matrix, a system designed to keep us focused on external achievements and possessions, rather than the things that truly matter in life. We're taught to equate success with wealth, status, and material possessions, perpetuating a never-ending cycle of consumption and accumulation. Yet, true fulfillment lies not in the accumulation of material goods, but in the richness of experiences, relationships, and inner growth. It's about finding joy in the simple moments, connecting with others on a deeper level, and nourishing your soul with experiences that ignite your passion and purpose. You are suffering from spiritual amnesia. Suffering from spiritual amnesia is like wandering through life with a veil over your eyes, a veil that obscures the deeper truths of existence and leaves you feeling disconnected from your true essence. In the 3D matrix, this amnesia is pervasive, clouding our perception and causing us to forget our inherent divinity as spiritual beings having a human experience. Instead of recognizing ourselves as divine expressions of consciousness, we become ensnared by the illusion of separation, identifying solely with our physical bodies and material possessions. We lose sight of the interconnectedness of all life, seeing ourselves as isolated islands in a vast sea of existence. But here's the truth: you are more than just your physical form. You are a spark of divine light, a fragment of the universal consciousness that animates all of creation. Your essence is timeless and eternal, transcending the limitations of the material world. Awakening from spiritual amnesia involves peeling back the layers of conditioning and societal programming that have kept us asleep to our true nature. It's about reconnecting with the spark of divinity that lies dormant within us, remembering our inherent worthiness and reclaiming our power as conscious creators. This journey of awakening is a deeply personal and transformative process, one that requires courage, curiosity, and an open heart. It involves exploring the depths of your being, confronting your fears and insecurities, and embracing the fullness of who you are. As you reconnect with your spiritual essence, you begin to see the world through new eyes. You recognize the interconnectedness of all life, feeling a sense of unity and oneness with the world around you. You realize that love is the underlying fabric of existence, and that true fulfillment comes from aligning with the flow of universal consciousness. If any of the signs on this list resonate with you, then it's time to acknowledge that the 3D matrix has its hold on you. But here's the good news: awareness is the first step toward liberation. It's time to awaken from the slumber of complacency and take ownership of your journey toward freedom. No more excuses. No more saying you don't have time. If you can find time for your favorite TV series or compulsive shopping sprees, then you have time to invest in your own liberation. The resources are at your fingertips, waiting for you to explore and discover the answers you seek. Remember, you are not just a mere mortal confined to the limitations of the physical world. You are an extension of source energy, a divine being with the potential to create universes. Yet, despite its inherent power, many of us continue to live as slaves to the 3D matrix. We pay taxes to individuals we'd rather see held accountable for their actions. We seek solace in doctors who offer temporary fixes rather than addressing the root cause of our ailments. We engage in heated debates about politics that ultimately have little impact on our day-to-day lives. We toil away at jobs that drain our energy and dampen our spirits. We consume media and food that poison our minds and bodies. But here's the truth: ignorance is a choice in the age of the internet. We have access to a wealth of information and resources that can empower us to break free from the shackles of the 3D matrix. It's time to reclaim our sovereignty and liberate ourselves from the chains of oppression. Just as we have allowed ourselves to be enslaved by the 3D matrix, so too do we have the power to liberate ourselves. It starts with a willingness to question the status quo, to challenge the narratives of control, and to forge a new path toward freedom. So, if you're ready to step into your power and embrace your birthright as a sovereign being, know that the journey begins now. You are not alone. Together, we can break free from the illusion of separation and create a world that honors the inherent dignity and freedom of all beings.